coming up and introducing me. But I think most of you know that I'm Dr. Dennehy's colleague in the philosophy department. And I'm delighted to have the opportunity to say a few words. Thank you, Sister Ignatius, for those commendations of Ray. I didn't prepare anything nearly as eloquent, but I thought it would be a pleasure for me and possibly of interest for you to say a few words about Ray. I met Ray when I first came to the University of San Francisco in the summer of 1984, so that's 30 years ago. We were, I think, on a beach a little bit north of San Francisco. It was where we were having the freshman retreat that year. And that, I believe, is the first time I actually met Ray. And I have absolutely no memory whatsoever from that first occasion. That's when we first met. I came to know Ray fairly well after that. And most of you here are here because you also had the chance to be in his class or to get to know him. And so you know that he is a very witty man. And that was true. People often ask me sort of, well, what's the spirit of the Institute? What's the Institute all about? It's kind of this place that's under fire and people think ill of it and so on. And I used to say, well, that's just wrong. I mean, we're just this Chestertonian group of Catholics. You know, we sit around the table and one of my colleagues, Ray, starts telling some joke or other, and another of my colleagues, Erasmo, starts laughing in a way that is contagious, and we have a great time together. And that's the experience that I had for many, many years at the Institute. Ray had that remarkable combination of somebody, and does have, and still does today. That's who he is. He had the remarkable combination of being somebody who was happy to be a warrior. He was proud of his blue-collar, Irish Catholic San Francisco roots. He was happy to be one of the defenders of the tradition, and was happy to call a spade, and if he thought that the people around him were not standing up to what they should be standing up to, he was perfectly happy to tell them that, and to give arguments that were worth listening to. But he combined all of that with this remarkably fun humor. And the Irish seem to have a gift of this, and he had the gift of that too. So we were always laughing, having fun. We didn't take ourselves too seriously, and I think that if I came up here to talk to you, it was to tell you that what you witnessed in Ray occasionally in the classroom was not just something he put on for you in order to make you like him, or just because he enjoyed telling jokes. That was part of who he was. That's part of who he is. That's part of who he's always been. And it's that great combination of somebody who cared about his tradition, and cared about the truth, and cared about what he had been taught and wanted to pass that on. With this, not taking himself too seriously, knowing that we're all sinners, recognizing that life's complicated and perplexing, and we have to do what we can. It was that very nice combination that he brought to all of our meetings, and brought to our gatherings, and brought to the Institute. In fact, I've also been asked sort of what was the central linchpin and kind of secret to the educational success of the Institute. And I also want to get up here to tell you that that was basically a decision unique to the Institute and actually formative of what it was all about for 25 years, to unite and combine two things. On the one hand, lectures that try to deliver an organized body of knowledge concerning logic and ethics and the truths of the faith and metaphysics and so on in their lecture courses with, as you probably preferred, all of the seminars from Homer up to the present. And that decision to combine this lecture series that was from the Radio Studiorum of the Jesuits with the great book's tradition of having seminars became the central theme of the Institute's education, and it was Ray who first proposed that. And he is the person who really, in some ways, is the author of what was the most important single way in which the Institute functioned academically. So I wanted you to know that too. Ray, you're retiring, and I think you have the grace and the dignity to recognize when that's the right time to retire. And I'll try to remember that when my time comes, so as to go out as gracefully as you are. You leave me, by the way, in case you didn't know that, with the less than distinct honor of being the senior member of the philosophy department when you retire, which just shows you that if you stay around long enough, you seem to become important, and that seems to be what's about to happen to me. We will miss you. We already miss some of your presence in the philosophy department already. We miss the humor, we miss the fun. But you enlivened all of us, and you brought a wonderful Irish sparkle to everything that we did in the Institute. It's clear that the people who have bothered to come here from far away and close at hand remember and honor you for your presence and all you gave them. So those of you who did come here tonight because of all those things, I just stand up before you today, this evening, to tell you that's real. That came from who the person was, and it wasn't made up, and he has touched all of us that way. So thank you, and thank you very much.